What's going on, brothers? I hope you're all having a blessed and fantastic day today. We are officially in month 1 of our 10K agency quest. Unfortunately, I'm not making $10,000 per month. I'm not even making $8,000 per month, but that's sure to change in the future. As per usual, I've got some notes over here just so I stay on track throughout the video, but let's go ahead and get right into it.
Now, for starters, let's talk about cold calling. Now, I did say last week I was going to do some cold calls, and I did, but I only did it for the first 2 days of the week. Long story short, I don't like doing cold calls, man. I was just being lazy. I was being weak. I was weak. I'll admit, I was weak. The excuse I made for myself was, you know what, this obviously isn't working. Nobody's picking up the phone, so let me just go ahead and use my mornings to focus on content instead. And that's what I told myself to make me happier. In any case, I didn't really do too many cold calls. Those were only around 100. I talked to a few of the business owners. Most of them were like, nah, get out of my face. I hate you. Never speak to me again. If you call me again, I'm going to alert the authorities and I'm going to squat your house. And obviously that made me feel really bad. So I just didn't do it anymore, right? Anyway, that definitely happened. I'm not lying. I would never cap. But let's talk about email outreach. Now, email outreach is something that I have been, well, it's not really something I have to be consistent with, as I've already set up the systems on instantly. So I just let that run. I let that cook. And I'm proud to say that it actually has been going pretty well. I've been getting some replies, which is actually pretty good considering the fact that these accounts are still warming up and I'm not able to send too many emails. But, I've got a few replies. The percentages are looking okay. They're looking swell. They're looking pretty nice. And I'll probably show a screenshot of that, what that's looking like. The first campaign that I run is the one that's getting the replies. The second one, it's still ramping up. Still got to get that into motion, into the swing of things. But email campaigns are looking pretty good. Now, I was getting responses, but none of those responses have turned into meetings yet. That's a bottleneck I've got to get figured out. Maybe my call to action, I might end up switching from the VSL funnel that I'm currently running. But we'll just keep testing. We got to keep seeing things. Gotta let the system run so I can get some data and actually make some changes that are going to give me more meetings. Other than that, I've been really locking in on content. I've been doing a lot of short form. My short form's actually been going pretty well. One of my videos actually ended up getting like 10,000 views on YouTube. That might not seem like a lot, but that was pretty cool. I remember waking up, I'm like, what the heck? I woke up, I had like 40 extra subscribers. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I've been locking in on the content, split testing, new ways of writing, going with the script, without a script, using different hooks, different titles, things of that nature. But we're still evolving on that front, still looking to improve, still learning new things. And yeah, that's about it for the actions. As far as the lessons, right? So some of the stuff here is going to be a lot of stuff I learned talking to my mentor. If you remember from last week, I mentioned the dude named Aaron I met at the gym. Me and him ended up staying in contact, and we ended up hopping on a call the other day. And I learned some good insights from him. So I'm gonna share those with y'all. First thing is, you gotta identify your 10 out of 10 life. Because when you're able to do that, you're able to paint that picture in your mind. You're able to have it at the forefront of your mind. So when you're doing things throughout the day, when you might find yourself slacking or not feeling like working, you're gonna think of that, and you're gonna be like, wow. Not wow. You're gonna think of that 10 out of 10 life, that life you've always envisioned. The things you want to do. And you'll be like, man, I'm really sitting here on my couch watching TV, scrolling on social media, and my dream is to be able to travel the world and be financially free and be able to do what I want. And I'm not gonna get there if I'm sitting on my couch watching TV, eating potato chips, right? So it's gonna make you get up. It's gonna make you want to start grinding, right? It's going to make you want to put the work in, so you're actually able to achieve your goals. So you're actually able to obtain that 10 out of 10 life. Now, another lesson that this mentor taught me was that you want to get a list, and you want to write out a list of 300 things you want to do before you die. And they can be literally anything. And the reason for that is that when you actually write these down, when you get them down on paper, it's going to start creating neural pathways in your mind, right? And in your day-to-day life, you're gonna start actively planning out ways that you can achieve these things, right? And if you make these 300 things very big, they don't necessarily have to be big, but things that you truly want to do, things that you truly value, you're going to start figuring out ways to make those things possible, and you're going to start changing your life for the better to actually accomplish those things. Like for me, for example, some of the things I want to do is I want to climb Mount Everest. That sounds crazy. I just feel like it'd be pretty fun. I want to train Muay Thai, maybe end up going into an actual fight. And I want to travel the world. I want to travel Africa, travel Asia, travel Europe. I want to South America. I just want to travel the world, right? And to be able to do all of those things, I'm going to have to get to a point where financially I don't have to worry about my finances, right? Where I have so much money, I'm balling so hard, so much that I don't even got to look at the price. I just do it, right? And to get there, I'm obviously going to have to put in a lot of work on the front end to be able to have that kind of lifestyle. And as the last lesson that I'm going to leave you guys with is that there's a 2% of people, and then there's the 98%, right? This 2% has 90% of the wealth, the 98% working for the 2%. And when you're looking for information online, you got to question whether the people you're getting this information from are in that 98% or in that 2%. Like think about YouTube, for example, right? Majority of the people on YouTube would be classified in that 98%, me included. So you probably shouldn't be listening to anything I'm saying right now. But let's just say, let's ignore that for a little bit, right? Let's not even think about that. But in any case, a lot of the people that a lot of the content that you're consuming is in that 98%, and the people in that percentage are, using information that they're learning from other people in the 98%. It's kind of like this weird loop where you're saying the same thing, saying the same information, the same kind of concept, the same kind of ideas, the same limiting beliefs that are being told to everybody else in that general area. And then you're not going to be able to get anywhere with that information. You're not going to be able to improve. You're not going to be able to better yourself because you're basically talking, not necessarily talking to yourself, but you're kind of talking to yourself, right? If you want to escape that 98%, if you want to get out, if you want to achieve your dreams and, get that 10 out of 10 life, you need to listen to the people in that 2%, to the massively successful, to the very wealthy, to the people who are at the top, at the peak of human evolution, so powerful, so wealthy, so much knowledge and wisdom that simply by being around these type of people, you're going to be able to make massive improvements in your life, and you're going to be able to get that 10 out of 10 life. And that's about it for the lessons I've got. Now, as for my plans for the next week, I'm going to ramp up my outreach, obviously. If my math is correct, I'm going to be able to scale my emails up to 100 a day. And when I max them all out, it should be around 240, but that's going to be a while before I'm able to get to there. But anyway, we're going to be sending a lot more emails out, going to crank those up. I might do more cold calls. I might not do more cold calls. I probably should do cold calls, but I just don't like doing it. I'm being lazy. I'm also reading a new book. My mentor recommended me this book, and he basically told me, listen, bro, you got a week to read this, and, if you don't read it, then, it's over for you. So I'm obviously going to read it. I'm halfway through it. The book is Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. It's actually really interesting. I've learned a lot about the different quadrants and a bit about investing too. It's actually a really good read so far. I recommend you guys go check that out for yourselves. And finally, I'm starting a newsletter, bro. I'm starting a newsletter. I've been watching Danko. I love Danko. He's a cool dude. A lot of good wisdom from that guy. And, as Danko, the way he does his content, he has a newsletter. I think he drops it every Saturday, and then that's how he makes his videos, is he'll just be reading off the newsletter, use that as a script, and then he makes really good content from that. So that's something I wanted to try for myself. So I'll go ahead and link that in the description if you guys want to check out that newsletter. The first letter should be dropping. No, it will be dropping this Wednesday, and this Thursday I'll be dropping a new video, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Really excited for that. Also, join the Discord, man. Once we get enough people in, I want to eventually start doing weekly calls every Sunday where y'all can come and chat to me. We can talk business, we can talk philosophy, we can talk self-improvement, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and check out that Discord, man. And other than that, that's all I got for today, so let's put the work in. Peace.